Hey, welcome to the Black Knight Nation live stream. I'm your host, Sal Internado. Black Knight Nation live stream and podcasts are brought to you by Higher Echelon, a company run by Joe Ross. Joe Ross is a former Army fullback, former Army assistant coach, former Army officer. He's also been a guest on our podcast. Check out our YouTube channel, Black Knight Nation YouTube channel. We have loaded up a lot of content recently. Jeff Monken's press conference from yesterday after the scrimmage is up there. Interviews with Casey Larkin, safety, quarterback Dwayne Coleman are up there. A quick video short with Noah Short, Army wide receivers, also up on our YouTube channel. And we'll getting up a lot more content soon. Check out our website, Black Knight Nation. There's a story on Dwayne Coleman up there. Yesterday, he threw a touchdown pass and ran his touchdown run. Everybody's probably seen the video by now. It's crazy. It's got over 40,000 views on our Twitter account or X account, whatever it is. Check that out too. Also, I just wrote a scrimmage recap, and thankfully, one of our readers, I left out a couple people on the first team of what I saw as the first team yesterday at the scrimmage. So that's up. Our scrimmage recap's up. I'm going to write a story on Casey Larkin within the next 24 to 48 hours. So there's a gallery. Check out our photo gallery by Lynn Fern. Man, it's a mega gallery. There's lots of photos up there to check out. Just a lot of coverage. I mean, it's the preseason. We're trying to get after it the best we can here on Black Knight Nation to give you the best possible coverage of the Army football team. If you guys are watching now, if you have any questions or comments, please send them in. We're gonna I'll post them. I'll read them. We'll go over your questions. We'll go over your thoughts. I wanted to make this kind of interactive tonight, where if you have anything to say about the program, doesn't even have to be about preseason. Could be about the stadium, Mikey Stadium, not the renovation being postponed, and Mikey Stadium being intact for the 2023 season. Could be about should Army join a conference or not. That kind of talk could be back on the table. Who knows? Just want to just get this stream out. I actually got my good laptop back, so I want to see how it was going to work and get some information out to you guys. The scrimmage yesterday was kind of Steve Anderson, who might pop on later, texted me, is like, how did the scrimmage go? After kind of they broke it down to veterans, and they broke it down veterans and freshmen scrimmage yesterday. Coach Monken said he just didn't think he wanted to give the freshmen a fair chance. There were some freshmen who moved up and played in the veteran scrimmage yesterday. Kanye Udo had a big he rushed 4 times during the scrimmage and looked pretty impressive. A running back, freshman running back. So the scrimmage, I mean, you're watching the offense, right? And you're thinking that they're just going to air it out. This shotgun offense. I'm not saying like 50% of the time, but maybe 40%, 30%. And there was a lot of run plays at the beginning. There was a lot of misdirection plays. There was a lot of outside runs, inside runs, and they put them at the 10-yard line to start the opponent's 10-yard line to start the scrimmage, and it was basically a red zone drill. And Bryson Daly and Dwayne Coleman both scored touchdowns on 4th down runs during the scrimmage, early in the scrimmage. And the 2 freshman quarterbacks, Champ Harris and Larry Robinson, the defense held them on 4th down. So a lot to digest in that scrimmage because earlier in the week, heard that Alex Meredith, the senior quarterback, got injured in practice, and he was running number 2 on the depth chart, and he was, pushing Bryson Daly to start at quarterback, and Alex suffered a lower leg injury Monday and had surgery, I believe, on Wednesday, and was told pretty much on Monday that his season was done, his career was done. And if you followed Alex Meredith in his story, we had him on a Zoom call. Ken Kreitzer and I had him on a Zoom call last week, and he was so happy. He was talking about how this offense, this shotgun offense, fit him a little bit more into triple option. It was something that he ran, I think, earlier in his high school career, and it's something that he was really comfortable with. And you saw him in the spring game, his snaps in the spring game, where he was very good at reading the defense and whether to keep the ball, pitch to, hand the RPO system. He was very good with, and just coach talking to Coach Monken after his meeting with the media just for a few minutes about Alex Meredith, and it's just tough. And we wish Alex all the best. This was the feel good story of the spring. This was a feel good story for early in preseason that Alex was going to senior year and he was pushing to be on the field, and just knowing, just talking to him in that Zoom meeting and just talking to Coach Monken for a little bit. May take some time, but Alex is going to contribute to the team in some shape or form in the quarterback room, certainly. Being a senior right now, it's Bryson Daly Jr. who played in the fourth quarter of some games last year. It's Dwayne Coleman, who was a scout team quarterback last year. It's the freshman class. That's your quarterback depth chart right there. And, Larry Robinson and Champ Harris have risen a little bit separate themselves a little bit from the freshmen that are in training camp right now or preseason camp right now. But there's a lot. They have a number of freshmen that have a lot of potential. I know that the coaches are very high on. So we'll have to see. That could fluctuate. Who knows? Throughout, by the end of preseason camp, another freshman, maybe like Caden Oviatt could step up, or Mitch Bolden's there also. There's a couple guys that are going to compete during practice now and see if they can make the move. And there's also Zach Mundell, who's a little banged up. Hopefully Army can get him healthy enough to where he can practice, and Zach Mundell will be right in the mix too. Maybe the way Coach Monken was talking about it, he was saying the freshmen Harris and Robinson are going to have a chance to compete for that number 3 spot behind Bryson Daly and Dwayne Coleman. So that kind of tells me that maybe Zach Mundell is not going to be ready for the start of the year. We'll see what happens. Couple things, a couple notes from the scrimmage yesterday. I didn't see a couple guys out there, some veterans that maybe are just they're getting some time to come back from a minor injury here and there. Didn't see Jimmy Charlo out there. Didn't see Bo Nicholas Paul on the field. I saw them out, at the scrimmage, but I don't think they participated yesterday. Those are 2 guys that are going to be pretty involved in their defense. Charlo, of course, a captain. Coach Monken was saying during his meeting with the media, Jimmy's really stepped up his leadership. And yeah, he's a captain, but it even goes beyond that for him. He's really taken a really great leadership role beyond the captaincy for the team. And he's one of the vocal leaders on the team, and a guy with a lot of experience who you want to have out there to start the year off. The defense is going to be just watching the defense during the scrimmage and watching them a little bit in the preseason. They're going to be shuffling that defensive line. They have about 8 or 9 guys that could probably go on the defensive line. The starters are going to be Austin Hill, captain. Well, right now, Kyle Lewis, who we talked to. Check out our YouTube channel. We have an interview with Kyle Lewis up there. He's a junior who was pretty much projected to be almost like the Andre Carter position on the defense when he was recruited. And now he's kind of grown into a nose tackle position, a guy who saw some time late last season, got snaps in late last season. And now he's running with the first team on nose tackle. And you have Chris Frey also, who's a veteran guy on that first team. But then you got guys like Darius Richardson, Nate Smith, guys who have started games for them, maybe on the second team. A guy who's really come on from spring to the preseason camp is Jack Latore. He's a sophomore, and he's getting into that second team defensive line, getting some reps there. So, I mean, they're pretty deep on defense. We know about the depth that they have inside linebacker. Saw Spencer Jones and Leo Lowen take some snaps with the first team yesterday, but then you still have Brett Jarena, you still have Andon Thomas. Those guys are right there. You have a guy like Adam Cash, Hamilton Baker, you have those guys in there too. Cam O'Gara, Calvin Crumby, I think is going to miss a little bit of the early in the season for Army. I think he's coming off an injury, so we might not see Calvin toward the beginning of the year, but we will definitely hopefully see him during the season, because he had that big play on the goal line with Austin Hill against Navy, that fumble in overtime that led Army to the victory. So seeing Calvin Crumby hopefully play this season will help out the depth. They're pretty deep on defense. The guys with a lot of experience. Yeah, they lost Andre Carter, who you saw playing in the preseason for the Vikings against John Radigan, another Army linebacker, on Thursday night, I believe. They lost Andre and Marquell Broughton at safety, but they do return a lot of experience on defense. So it'll be interesting to see how they line up, how many players they use. They got plenty of depth there. They can move players in and out. We'll see who steps up. There's a good competition going on opposite of Quindraylon Hammonds at safety between Casey Larkin and Max DiDomenico. Both guys are having a really good camp from what I've been told from the coaches and what I've seen. So we'll see what happens there. Maybe they can even go to the 5 defensive backs and play Larkin and Max DiDomenico at the same time. I mean, that might be a possibility for the defense in the opener against Louisiana Monroe. Talking a little too much, guys. If you have any comments or questions, please send them my way. We'll post them up here. I can post comments and questions now with this with my good computer. So we'll feel free to send your questions in if you're watching right now. Maybe hoping Steve Anderson might jump in here in a little bit. We'll see what happens there. Was trying to get Seth Mendelson on today, but he's traveling. He's traveling tonight. I forgot about that. And so it's a solo show right now. So we'll keep this a little bit longer. If you guys have any questions or comments, I'll go as long as you send them in. Just wanted to talk. I guess we hit Alex Meredith news. We also talk a little bit about the scrimmage. The freshman who went after the veterans on Saturday. So Champ Harris and Larry Robinson did stay and practice also with the freshmen, so they got more snaps in. They got their 3rd and 4th team snaps in with the veterans, and then they also stayed with the freshmen and took snaps with the freshmen. And I saw Champ Harris complete a touchdown pass to Parker Williams during the freshman scrimmage. Champ Harris looks like he really gets the offense well. I think that with Champ Harris, he's really a smart quarterback. He has a lot of skill. And I think when he was the veteran scrimmage, right, he was getting now he's getting looks from the first team defense. And he wasn't getting a lot of time back there when he had to make decisions because the defense was beating the offense off the ball. Coach Monken said that a lot after the scrimmage, that the offensive line just has to do better than they did at the scrimmage yesterday. There was too many times the running back wasn't even getting to the line of scrimmage and he was getting hit, or the quarterback or the running back was getting hit. So he said the offensive line needs to do a little bit better job. And you think with the experience that they have on the offensive line, that'll come together for them in the next couple weeks. Larry Robinson seems to be a pretty shifty runner, but also a very smart runner too. And he threw a couple good balls yesterday. I remember one that was a really good pass that just didn't. The receiver dropped it. So there were a couple of drops yesterday during the scrimmage. If you went yesterday to see Isaiah Austin catch a one-handed catch for Isaiah Austin, I think they threw him. I saw him have one catch early in the scrimmage. I'm not sure if he had another. So, but Isaiah's established. They're trying to find out who's going to be maybe the guy lining up opposite of him once the opener at Louisiana Monroe, and that may be Liam Fortner. That could be Casey Reynolds. It seems like this is going to be an offense, this shotgun offense, that they're going to keep the defense and the defensive coordinators guessing as far as what packages they have in and what skilled players they have in, because there were times where you saw two backs yesterday. There were times where you saw, Noah Short on the field. I think Noah Short and Ijon Marshall might have been on the field together. They're slot receivers. They can go two tight ends. They could go Josh Lingenfelter and they could go David Crossan or Will Mondesi. They have some options there. And you're looking at if you guys follow Army football and you know the name Tyrell Robinson, he's right now not practicing. He's at practice, but he's not really practicing, even limited right now. Should ask Coach Monken yesterday about Tyrell, and it escaped me yesterday. But I'm thinking, opener, we'll see, but it should be on the early side of the season, I would guess, for Tyrell, and that's another weapon for them. Wow. You put Tyrell Robinson, Ijon Marshall on the field together. Miles Stewart is a guy that Army's talking about a lot. This Coach Monken said he's the perfect fit for this shotgun offense as a running back. Miles Stewart has pretty good breakaway speed once he gets into the open field. And so those are, three guys right there. And then they're still going to, you saw Tyson Riley and Jacoby Buchanan out there in the single back offense. You saw them, being thrown to or they ran the football yesterday. So they're still going to be a part of the offense. Talking to Tyson Riley early in camp, he said that, football's football. They're going to, he's going to play where the coaches tell him to play. And, Tyson Riley, just talking to Matt Drinkall the other earlier in the preseason camp, he can basically do a lot of things for you. So, that's another way to keep defenses guessing. If you guys have a chance, I called it 5 Good Minutes with Matt Drinkall. I got a chance to talk to him, I think earlier this week, about Connor Finucane, Tyson Riley, the offense, working with Mike Vitti. It's 5 minutes of your time. It's a great video. You can find that also on our YouTube channel. I forgot to promo that. That's a great interview I had with him. Yesterday I got a chance. I'm jumping all over the place, but if you guys have any comments or questions, please send them in. If you're watching right now and you're an Army fan and you have an opinion on Army and you want to jump on this live stream with me, send me your email at salinterdonado@gmail.com and we'll pop you on and we'll get you in and we'll talk some Army football here. I talked to Danny Verpail yesterday, Army safety coach. I wanted to talk to him to get another perspective on Casey Larkin. Casey Larkin, at the beginning of the scrimmage yesterday, he said that they were working on red zone defense a lot before the scrimmage and probably anticipating it during the week. And he read a pass near the back of the end zone. Looked like he caught the ball and had at least 1 foot inbounds, but the official ruled that he didn't. Talking to Casey afterwards, he just said, nope. The official said, nope, I didn't get it. He wasn't saying he didn't make the interception, but talking to Danny Verpail about how Casey Larkin's kind of game is on the rise since the spring. And Coach Monken said he's one of the most improved players on the team from the spring to now. He is a guy who at least we'll see some special teams play early in the season, and we'll see, like we talked about, where they go. Probably Max DiDomenico has the experience, so maybe Max will get the start beside Quindraylon Hammonds. But then, like I said, they can use different packages and bring Larkin into the game and have both of them on the field possibly. I think some Army fans might be concerned about how they're going to generate pressure on the quarterback this year without Andre Carter. And now Andre Carter did not have the sack totals that he had in 2021 last year, right? But he caused a lot of he forced a lot of holding penalties. He forced the quarterbacks to hurry the ball. There was times where he was dragged to the ground, nothing was being called. But that may have opened up something for a teammate. How are they going to pressure the quarterback this year? I think you're going to see blitzing from a lot of blitzing during passing situations. I think those inside backers are going to have to also provide some pressure on blitzes inside. And then we're going to have to see if guys like Chris Frey and Austin Hill can provide some pressure from the outside. I'm kind of looking yesterday to see if there might be a guy who could be like a pass rushing specialist, so to speak, for Army that they bring in situations on third downs. Didn't see that, but maybe Trey Sophia can be kind of that edge guy for them. He's a really tall guy, kind of Andre Carter frame, and maybe we'll see if Trey Sophia can come into his own this season and provide some pass rush for the Black Knights. Want to talk about real quick what's going on in FBS football with the Power 5 schools and schools going leaving the Pac-12, going to the Big Ten, and who knows what school is going where on what days, and what may happen to the Pac-12 now. Are they going to stay as a conference? Are they going to add schools? Are they going to go elsewhere? And I had a Twitter post probably last week about how normally I wouldn't be too concerned with Army as far as being an independent and thinking that they can stay independent for a while. But now what's happening with college football and the landscape is so changing. I think I posted something on Twitter, X, whatever we're calling it. I'll still call it Twitter for now. About how I wouldn't be surprised if Army's in the conference within the next couple of years. And, I think that, I think Mike Buddy's probably keeping an eye on what's going on, no doubt. I mean, close eye on what's going on. And where that conference is, I mean, if I had our writer Seth Mendelson here, he would probably say that, hey, if Syracuse and Boston College are left out and UConn are left out, there's a place where Army can, maybe start a new another conference. I don't know. It wouldn't be the old Big East. Who knows? But I'm thinking, within the next 5 years, I think there's a really good chance that Army's in the conference and they're not independent anymore. We'll see. That's my opinion. I don't know if anybody else that's watching right now has their opinion on that. I know I got some feedback from people once I posted it, and it was, kind of, some people are saying, oh, we don't want to go back to where it was with Conference USA. I mean, the college football landscape is so much different now than it was when Army went to Conference USA. 99, 2000? I mean, that's almost 25 years ago. A lot of things have changed, and I think that you want to kind of stay ahead of things, and you don't want to be left behind. And I think that that's what Army's kind of in the middle there as an independent. There's a lot of benefits for being independent, especially making your schedules and, the like. But I mean, it might be time soon to join the conference, and be interesting to see what happens. Is it going to happen tomorrow? Is it going to happen next week? Is it going to happen before the season starts? That they announce that they're going to join something? I doubt it, but it's something to be considered, no doubt. In the near future. I always want to throw that out there. Thinking of what else I want to talk about here. If Steve or Seth were around, we would have some dialogue, some bounce back. Who knows? Maybe we'll pop back on a little later too, if Steve has some time to talk. But really appreciate the support that everybody's had with Black Knight Nation. Really, our coverage in the last, week has really taken off. Our views on our website are way up. We really appreciate everybody that's following us on our social medias too, our Instagram. It's one video, one post, and a lot of support, no matter what, with our recruiting stories. And I'll have a few more coming up. It's hard to keep up with recruiting, Army recruiting, when the season's going on right now. The preseason's going on right now. There's still commits almost every day or every other day. And, got to get that recruiting list up to date for you guys. Probably will try to do that on the next couple recruiting stories. Got a story coming up on Hun School recruit, New Jersey recruit, and we're making some contacts with some other guys who committed to. So that's been that's keeping us going in the summer. All those recruiting stories, and now you got the preseason. I'm gonna be on the lookout before the season preseason ends on a story on Connor Finucane. I've talked to Connor. I've talked to a bunch of his fellow offensive linemen. I've talked to Matt Drinkall about Connor, and it's going to be a really good story that I just need some time. What work in the lake, I just need some time to put that together. Hopefully, within a week or so, hopefully I can get that on our website, and it's going to be a pretty in-depth story on Connor Finucane, and a guy who I believe is getting who will get some NFL attention this year. I know a Saints scout was already at last Saturday's practice, taking a look at Connor Finucane and Josh Lingenfelter. So those are two guys to look out for during the season as far as NFL interest. And you look at Connor Finucane now, he's like 6'4", 320 pounds, interior offensive lineman, really smart, just talking to his teammates and Matt Drinkall, just one of the smartest football players. I've covered a lot of smart, high IQ guys, football players, and just high IQ guys in general at West Point. Ken Brinson comes to mind, outside linebacker Ken Brinson, who is probably a doctor now, and a guy like Ryan England, who played safety for the Black Knights. Those guys come to mind. And Andrew King, who played inside linebacker, also comes to mind. And Connor Finucane's right up there with him, just talking to teammates and talking to coaches about Connor, a captain and a guy who wrote the Mob Bible on blocking in the triple option for his fellow offensive linemen. It's part of the story. He put together about a 15-page PDF on basically that had every play, most of the plays in Army's playbook, and how you would block them, so to speak, in the schemes for the offensive lineman. He put that together on his own. So Matt Drinkall and Mike Vitti beat him to the new Bible on the shotgun blocking schemes. He said he was going to do that, but he just hadn't got to it yet, and the coaches beat him to that. But it will be a really good read. Really enjoyed writing the story on Dwayne Coleman yesterday, a guy who I think he grew up in Detroit, Michigan, but ended up finishing his high school career in San Antonio, Texas. And a kid who's just tough. I mean, you watch that YouTube video and you see him get to the goal line, and you see him just lower his shoulder on the linebacker to get into the end zone. And definitely, I wrote today that he definitely fits the profile and toughness for Army quarterbacks. He's coming along with his running. He is pretty smooth doing that too. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with Dwayne the rest of the preseason. But a really good chat with him yesterday. The video, it's a short chat. It's like 2 minutes long, but check out the video on our YouTube channel. And I guess we're gonna get out of here now. If you guys have any questions, I'll wait for a couple minutes to see if you guys have any questions. But if not, we're gonna sign off here. I really appreciate it. I just want to come on here, like I said, give my laptop a check that we could run the live streams and our podcasts a little bit smoother than we had in the past. And just to say thank you for following Black Knight Nation, and give you a little heads up on what I saw yesterday in scrimmage, what I've seen in the preseason, what I think might happen the rest of the preseason. And we'll see. We'll be back on here as soon as we can. We'll try to get maybe Steve and Seth on maybe this week. I want to do better with podcast guests now that I have the good computer back. We'll try to dip into the Army football alums and try to get you some really good stories on here. Our most recent podcast, I guess, is we have a question here. We'll get to that in a second. Our most recent podcast was with Tony Marino, sideline reporter for Army Radio. You can check that out on our YouTube channel. That's a good conversation with Tony. Let's see. We'll get this comment up here. Sorry, Spiraz 1386. What's your honest opinion on the LSU game? What do we have to do to have a chance? It's going to be interesting to see, to be honest with you, how the offense looks in the first couple games. Now that LSU game's in October, so Army's going to have a couple games, more than a couple games under their feet with this new offense. So that's not going to be really, if it doesn't go right in Death Valley, that's not going to be an excuse. They're gonna be ready to play, and LSU is a top 5 team right now. LSU is they're loaded across the board as usual. We'll see if it's going to really be, can the defense hang in there for a little bit, and can the offense make some big plays? If the offense can somehow get a big play here or there, because this offense is different than the triple option, right? I don't know if you're going to see a lot of time-consuming drives from this offense of Drew Thatcher's. Maybe there'll be some grinded-out drives, but I think that there'll also be some they want to get some quick hits in there too. So if Army's offense can have a big play here or there, and the defense can get off the field more often than not, you may see it like an Oklahoma-Michigan game there, when Army played them really tight and went into overtime. I know Army's not going to be intimidated going into Death Valley, even though, it's one of that's going to be over 100,000 fans probably there that night in Baton Rouge. That's going to be a great game. We're hoping to, I think we're definitely going to have at least a photographer down there. We're hoping to get a reporter down there too for that game. So, I'd love to go on the trip. All depends on, to be honest with you, funding, and if we can get some help. If you like what we're doing, if you like our vision, you can go on the Black Knight Nation website down on the right-hand side. There's a PayPal link for donations, and if you like to support us, that's a way you can support us. So really appreciate the question. Thanks so much. Got to post a question on the screen. It works. On my other computer, it wasn't working, so that's a good sign. That's it. The schedule's very tough. Very, very tough schedule. Not to start, but when you have to play at LSU, at Syracuse, have Boston College at home, have Coastal Carolina and Troy at home. Troy should be pretty good again this year. I don't think Coastal is going to take a step back with a new coach. They still have Grayson McCall, and Grayson McCall still has a couple weapons there at Coastal Carolina. They're going to be able to score some points. Who am I missing? UTSA at UTSA. Frank Harris with year 6 or 7 at quarterback. Air Force and Navy. There are really not a lot of breaks in this the schedule. The breaks in the schedule are early: Louisiana Monroe, Delaware State, and Holy Cross. So then Army's gonna have to play at the top of their game to get some wins there. Hopefully that home field advantage at Mikey can pay off against like Boston College, Troy, and Coastal Carolina. We'll see what happens. That's going to be it's the toughest schedule I've seen Army play in a long, long, long time. And when you're scheduling out these games, and you're scheduling out like Coastal Carolina back when they were going from FCS to FBS, and Troy, a Sun Belt team, and UTSA also a newer program, so to speak, amongst others. Now you got a beast of a schedule. You just have it's going to be tough, and you're doing it with last year you had 3 senior quarterbacks. This year you have a junior quarterback, Bryson Daly, who's seen the field but does not have the experience of the other guys. So we'll see how that goes. That's where Drew Thatcher and Cody Worley are really going to be big for this offense. Those 2 coaches are really, the quarterbacks are going to have to lean on them a little bit as far as what they're going to be expecting, or what looks they're going to get during these games. And I think that's going to be the coaching from Drew Thatcher, co-offensive coordinator, and Cody Worley, quarterbacks coach, with Bryson Daly, Dwayne Coleman, and those freshman quarterbacks is going to be huge this year. And like I said, you have weapons, no doubt. Army's offense has weapons. We ran down the list: Austin, Marshall, Robinson when he gets back on the field. Noah Short's going to be a big be a big part of this offense this year. Josh Lingenfelter, they should throw him the ball a little bit more, maybe I wish a lot more. He's certainly capable. And then you got Riley and Buchanan to pound up the middle if you need to. You got Miles Stewart to break off a big run. There are weapons on this offense, but you got to execute. And what I saw yesterday was a couple of times where the ball was on the ground, and that's too much against like an LSU, Syracuse, even Boston College. That schedule, they got to. That turnover margin has definitely got to be in Army's favor this season for them to have a chance to have a winning season and then to have a chance to go to the bowl game. So really appreciate you guys watching. I'm going to head out now. Who knows? I'm going to pop on and try to do some of the more of these live streams when I can. So maybe this could be a Sunday night thing in August, next couple weeks. See if I can get some people to jump on with me just to talk Army football and get their thoughts, because I don't think you want to hear me for 35 minutes talk about Army football. I want to get other opinions out there. So thanks a lot, guys. Check out black9nation.com for all your latest preseason news. Check out our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us a thumbs up on this if you like. That'll help us get out there a little bit more. And also check out our Instagram. We're moving up on our Instagram numbers, and check out our Twitter account and our Facebook pages. They're all out there. People know where they are. I'm going to do a link tree soon and on the bottom of this so you guys can find everything at once. But thanks a lot for spending some time with me tonight on this live stream, and have a great night and have a great week. And we'll have check out our website and our socials for more coverage of Army football this week as they continue their preseason. Have a good night, guys.